So, what the hell is a longshoreman? When you say that dumb name, you have to shake your head the same way. Longshoreman. Dock worker. Your dad a janitor at the school? No. He's a cleanliness specialist. Longshoreman. Do you think for 1 second, October 1st, that leader of that union decided just randomly, hey, I think now's a good time, guys. You make approximately $60,000 a year. Longshoremen do. I looked it up. Approximately between 55 and 65, so we say 60. We want a 77% increase in pay. They want to make like 90 plus, a year. 90K plus is basically what you're, somewhere around there, right? 88, 90. It's thanks to us. Well, they don't produce any goods. They don't produce really anything. They just have the boats come in and unload. Like, okay. You could train anybody to do this job. And you guys want $90,000 for this? Or timing is everything. And we need a disruption. We need a few disruptions right before and during the election. And if they can't come to an agreement, the longshoremen, you're not going to get your toilet paper. You're not going to be able to get a car. You're not going to get lumber. Don't we have lumber companies all across the United States? But whatever. You won't be getting the China-made lumber. Or remember the Chinese drywall? You won't be getting any of the Chinese dry wall that turns black and moldy after you install it. Remember that? 2005 and 6, the housing crisis of they're building everywhere. We don't have enough supplies. We got to import from China. And they imported from China. And then you got people suing the contractor, filing insurance, this and that. This one's out of business. That one's out of business. The Chinese black mold drywall. China, as Trump says it. China. You won't get your goods from China. And it's funny that Trump is saying on all his campaign trailing he's doing lately, on his campaign trails, you guys are going to start building here in America. And if you try to outsource stuff and bring it in, we are going to throw tariffs up the yin-yang at you. So if you want to get the cheap labor outside the country, go ahead. And we're going to just fee you to death on the way back in. He wants manufacturing and stuff inside this country. Because if we did, you longshoremen could go take an effing hike. But right now, we need them. We don't produce anything in our country. What do we produce? We produce debt, finance. That's what we produce. And who was it, though, that said, it was the remote viewers? Who the hell said that? Penny Kelly? That, like in the future, America was going to be like the exporter of the most nutritious, delicious foods, because we're going to be getting rid of all of the crap and the chemicals and all the shit we deal with now. And we're going like pure organic, like next level. I'm trying to think who the hell said that. Was it Penny Kelly? Was it remote viewers? Like I was just hearing this. And maybe it's one of them. Or was it Clif High? Was it Clif High? I was listening to his thing a couple days ago too. It was Clif High. And I thought, yeah, this is, and he meant, I think it was Clif High, because I've had this data from a long, long time ago, and I'm pretty sure it was Clif High now. And speaking of which, I sit here sometimes and I just think, I just started doing YouTube videos because I had a Facebook account a long time ago. And I try to post stuff in a video format onto Facebook to try to wake my friends and family up. And, oh, sorry, the video's too long, can't be longer than 10 minutes or some nonsense back in the day. And I go, oh, well, I have this YouTube account I've never used. Let me start posting over there, and I'll just link to Facebook, you know. So I did, and still nobody wants to hear nothing. So I just noticed I'm getting not really anyone who gives a shit on Facebook, but on YouTube, there's people who are commenting and interested, and okay. So I thought, shit, I mean, getting, you know, a lot more people commenting there than I know on Facebook. So I guess I'll keep posting stuff over there, you know. And then it got to the point where I go, up, I'm done with Facebook. Bye-bye, I'm out. Cancel, shut down, see you later. Boom, see ya, out of here. And, you know, I start doing my own research like I've been doing back then and continue to do, and came across Clif High's WebBot stuff when he was working with, oh, what the hell was that guy's name? He knows, he'd know in a heartbeat. Because it was on that guy's website, they'd post little snippets, and I'd go there and read them. Like, oh, I want more, you know, I want more. Well, you could buy one of the reports for like $350 or something. I'm like, yeah, I can't quite do that. And I'd still go to their website and read the stuff, you know, and share it, what I found or whatever on the YouTube. And then all of a sudden he had some kind of download universe. He says, I got to sell this way cheaper, $99 or something like that, whatever it was. And I go, okay, I'll pay that. I'll start doing that. And then I think at one point he dropped it to like $30. And I think that's that order. But anyways, okay, now I can get the full reports. I could read them, and I could do summaries, and I could, you know, pick what I feel like is the most important stuff and tell everybody about it, you know. And I'd get a little carried away because sometimes they were long, and I'm like, man, God, I want to include this too. You know, I'm trying to do a summary of what's in here, and I'm talking for over an hour, and he said, hey, can you try to keep your summaries on around a half hour or less? And I go, yeah, yeah, sure. It's his stuff, like, sure. And so I tried to do that, and I did. But just to think somehow I met that guy. We became friends and stuff. I've still never seen him in person to date. And I swear I have to. And I swear it's going to be like, hey, Cliff. How do I say this? I need you in New Mexico. Something I want to show you. Like, I feel like it's going to be like that. And he's going to say, well, what is it? And I'm going to have to say, I can't tell you. Just get your ass over here. And he's going to say, but I can't leave my wife behind because she's sick and, we don't have anyone to watch her. And I'm going to go, yeah, I had a sneaky suspicion you were going to say that. And you can't just leave her there. So, sure, there's no one else you could, watch her for a little bit, family, anything, just for a few days. Because you're going to want to see what I found. Like, I just can feel this one of these days happening. But, and same with, I think, Dick Algar. Although Dick likes to talk. Dick's a talker. Well, Dick, if that day comes, I invite you and Cliff over. Get on that plane, son. You have to keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? If we find something. So, anyways, I just thought, all these times, I've never met him in person, but how interesting is it that I got to befriend him and, like, know him, And he's got all this information and the future stuff and this and that, It's just, I just feel lucky, like some of these people I met. Woo Dude, Julianne, Sharon Michelle White Dove, even JC, and met my buddy Dave throughout the whole thing. And, well, actually not necessarily through JC, but we kind of met up, the three of us. and went and did our little first woo-woo adventure, actually, unbeknownst to us, over at the UFO Ranch, what they call that, East Eddy Ranch in Washington State. That was a very interesting experience, actually. That whole thing, from the very beginning of traveling to getting there was interesting. But I met all these very interesting people. You know, a lot of them psychic and stuff, which is just strange. You know, of all the people that I've met, and you know, how one thing led to another, and this and that, and you know. So I'm going to tell you a quick little story, part of treasure hunting, a little bit. Years ago, one of the people I got a reading from, which I have not really spoken to her in quite a while, was named Desiree. She was a psychic. And my friend, so you know, I used to mess around, I still do sometimes, with the jerky boys, you know, the prank callers. I'd say some stuff. Well, one day this lady messages me, you know, that's my brother. One of those guys is my brother, right? Her name, well, I won't say her name. And I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yes, so-and-so is my brother. And I'm like, no, get out of here. She's like, I swear, you know. So sure enough, one of them was her brother. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. We used to, back in the auto mechanic days, man, we used to listen, we'd sit there and listen to it over the overhead speaker at my shop that I worked at. We'd listen to freaking prank calls and the cussing and everything right over the damn speaker, over the overhead. And, but anyways, it was her that knew a lady. So, oh, you should talk to her, you know, okay. And, so she did a few readings for me over the years. And way back when, you know, I'd asked her about, you know, there's these two characters out in the mountains that have allegedly found some stuff. And I say allegedly, they definitely did. Back in like the 30s and even after that. The one got killed, Doc Noss got killed by his business partner because he learned his business partner was going to double cross him. And he confronted him. The guy ended up killing him. And another guy who went by the name Willie Dothit, which I think his real name was Lawrence something. Doesn't matter. They both found stuff. Pretty big treasures in the mountains. The area, you know, that I go to, New Mexico, that whole multiple mountain ranges, to be honest with you, over there. But anyways, I would ask her, like, can you like bring in Doc Noss or bring in like this guy? You know, like now while we're talking? And she's like, yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, he's here. You know, oh, he's like a real Indiana Jones. This guy, this Doc character, he's like the Indiana Jones. He's out, you know, he's out there getting it, blah, blah, blah. And she described him well, you know. And I don't remember what questions I asked, but, you know. Then do you have time for another one? One more person? Yeah. His name's Willie Dothit. And she's like, okay, what do you want to know? And I you know, whatever I asked. I have it recorded, the conversation. And she's like, he's trying to tell me, I can't hear what he's saying. Like, he just sounds all garbled. Like he's having a hard time talking. Like, you know, like there's something in his mouth or something. Like, and she's like, yeah, okay. No, he's getting mad at me now. He's getting upset with me because I can't understand. Okay, he's gone. He left. But they will come back and talk, they said. They will come back and talk to you, like through me or whatever. They will come back. Like if you do this again, they will come back. Oh, and she goes, oh, they're going to be with you when you go out there and do these things, like in spirit. They're going to be with you. Because both of them are long dead. She's like, they'll be with you. And I go, oh, wow. And she goes, oh, there's a female that's going to be joining you, or will for sure want to join you. And you could let her, you know, you could let her join. But don't be like, oh, hey, just, you know, if you found something, oh, here you go. Here's your share of the thing. Like, no, if this person's coming in, they gotta help. They gotta either, you know, physically help, or do they have some information? You know, don't just hand out stuff. And she goes, and I say that because I feel like she's somehow related to this Doc Noss character. So I'm like, you know, okay. Plug this thing in. So I'm like, and it's some female, huh? Oh, yeah, okay. I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to be like advertising, you know, I need a female. It's just going to happen, I guess. So this last visit to New Mexico, I went to Utah first to do the annual treasure hunters, they call it the Gathering at Moon Lake treasure hunter meeting. And I felt initially like, I'm not going, there's nothing there I care to hear. anyone's story or whatever. I don't think I'm going this year. I only went one time 2 years ago. First time ever. And then something goes, no, you should go. A couple of days later, and I go, okay, I guess I will go. So I contacted a friend out there, Ken. Said, Ken, I think I'm going to come. I'm going to come. All right, come by the ranch. I want to show you around and sit by the fire. All right. And Ken has got the dream property that everyone would ever want out there in the middle of nowhere. With the river that runs through it, pond stocked with fish, hundreds of acres, just unbelievable. But that wasn't the main reason I went out there. And so the main guy out there is like, hey, Joe, his name's Terry Carter. Joe, I got a New Mexico guy here. You need to talk to him. His name's also Ken. All right, so I talked to this guy, and he starts telling me a little bit about his story out there. And I go, dude, are you on the such and such claim? You guys had to sue him to take ownership? Yes. He died, by the way, a year and a half ago. I go, oh, no kidding, I didn't know that. But you guys have it now. You got the claim. Oh, yeah, we're working it. So we start talking. I go, oh, shit, okay. Like, I know you, but I don't know you. Some people I know you. And he goes, well, I knew I should come here. I just had a feeling I'd meet a few people that I really needed to connect with. He goes, and I feel like you're one of them. And there's 3 others. And I go, oh, wow, good. So I didn't know who the other 3 were, but one of them was my friend Walt, who has an amazing story about a red-headed giant skeleton in those mountains. And then that was all I knew. So next thing I know, I'm over here in New Mexico recently. I get a text from this guy, Ken, and he says, hey, there's this chick. Her name's Sierra. I think you need to talk to her. And I gave her your number. I'm like, oh, okay. So we start chatting, me and her. And then, hey, I'm coming up that way, and I'm going to spend several months out there until the new year. Okay. And so anyway, so she ends up coming out. We end up talking and stuff. And I'm going, man, is this her? Is this the chick that Desiree told me all those years ago? Could it be? So I start probing a little bit, like, what's your background and what, tell me your story, Now, Doc Noss, allegedly, again, there's no, he wasn't, yes, he was, whatever, was part Indian, they say, and Cherokee, I believe, at that, and part of the Deer tribe or Deer Creek, Deer something tribe, within the tribe, I should say. Turns out this girl is too. The same one, the same tribe. So if that's true about Doc Noss, then she's from the same tribe. And not just like, oh, they're both Cherokee, but like the whatever you might call it, the sub-tribe or the subsidiary, if you will, of, the groups within the tribe, because the different family groups have their things like that, So I'm going, oh, no way. I think this could be her. And so again, like all these things, all these people I've met, all these things that have happened, I'm going, man, this ain't by no coincidence. And I do feel like I may be one of the luckiest son of a bitches alive to meet some of these other people. But it's all supposed to happen. It's like, oh, you got to meet with your soulmate, not mates, your soul family. It'll just happen like magnets. You'll just run into them, And that was same with Chris, my buddy that's been digging with me. It was similar story. Spirit, you got to send me some. Boom. Immediately answered, it's him. I knew it immediately. And then I had to ask for a dream for confirmation. And I got the dream of all dreams. Yes, he's good to go. Bring him on. And I was like, damn. So, anyways, just sitting here waiting. I got to pick up my son. I'm here early. He goes to a little VPK thing that's Christian based. No woke nonsense. No rainbow flags anywhere. No weird teachers and nope. Some of the teachers here were here when my 18-year-old daughters were 4 years old, and now they're teaching my son. Just incredible. No woke nonsense. So we're good. So, I don't know, I just felt like chatting with you for a little bit on this stuff. The Longshoreman, striking, yeah, sure. Timing is everything. And on that note, Take care.